The House will come to order. Members will be at their seats. The clerk has opened the roll, and you may record your attendance. Please rise and give your attention to the House chaplain, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Representative Barrett.
Good morning, friends. Allow me to pray for you. Father, you're good and gracious, God, and we give you thanks for your grace, your understanding, and your patience in our lives. We understand we've not yet arrived at that place where we've learned everything there is to be learned about others or even ourselves. So would you give us wisdom to make decisions which will withstand the scrutiny of time? In the book of Proverbs, your word tells us, he who restrains his words has knowledge, and those who have a cool spirit are people of understanding. Even a fool, when he keeps silent, is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is counted prudent. Might the words we speak today be filtered through wisdom and understanding. Keep us from using words which do not add value to any given conversation. And then, Father, help us to always evaluate our articulated values through the prism of reasoned thought, flavored with insight and godliness. Where we have differences of opinion, allow our responses to always reflect good character and a gentle spirit. Everyone gathered here has an opinion about every situation which will come before them. Your word reminds us, he who gives an answer before he hears, it is folly and shame to him. So, Father, give us ears, I pray, which truly listens to opposing thoughts and ideas, knowing that at times opinions are changed when well-formulated thoughts are presented. Now, may your spirit of peace be manifested in this chamber. We ask this in the name of the one who was and is to come. And say amen.
Have all members had an opportunity to record their presence? The clerk will close the roll and record the attendance. Introduction of bills and concurrent resolutions. The clerk will read.
HB 2447 by Committee on Elections, requested by Denidra Herbert on behalf of the Kansas Republican Party, an act concerning elections. HB 2448 by Committee on Elections, requested by Representative Proctor, an act concerning driver's license. HB 2449 by Committee on Elections, requested by Representative Proctor, an act concerning elections. HB 2450 by Committee on Elections, requested by Representative Wagner, an act concerning elections. HB 2451 by Committee on Elections, requested by Representative Wagner, an act concerning elections. HB 2452 by Committee on Elections, requested by Representative Proctor, an act concerning elections. HB 2453 by Committee on Elections, requested by Representative Pickert, an act concerning elections. HB 2454 by Representatives Howerton, Howell, and Tarwater, an act concerning the Residential Landlord and Tenant Act. HB 2455 by Committee on Appropriations, requested by Representative Waymaster on behalf of the Office of the Governor, an act making and concerning appropriations for the fiscal years ending June 30, 2026, June 30, 2027, June 30, 2028, and June 30, 2029 for state agencies. HB 2456 by Committee on Taxation, requested by Representative Hoheisel, an act concerning sales taxation. HB 2457 by Committee on Taxation, requested by Representative Bryce on behalf of Representatives Hellwig and Roth, an act concerning property taxation.
Final action. Final action on bills and concurrent resolutions. The clerk will read.
HB 2204 by Representative Schmoy, an act concerning certain international organizations, declaring such organizations have no power to enforce any policy or regulation within the state of Kansas or the political subdivisions thereof.
This constitutes final action on House Bill 2204. The clerk will open the roll and you may record your vote. As all members had an opportunity to record their vote, the clerk will close the roll. Does any member desire to explain his or her vote? Representative, boy, messed up there.
Mr. Speaker, I vote no on HB 2204. We might need the United Nations to defend our rights in the face of violations on arbitrary detention, racial profiling, and treatment of migrants by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. As ICE continues a campaign of organized brutality on American citizens, we may not want to distance Kansas from international voices that could speak out to protect our safety and well-being. What if we need help from the United Nations to reclaim our communities from President Donald Trump? I vote no.
Is there any further explanation of vote? Representative McDonald.
In a time when Kansans are dealing with hard financial realities, worrying about putting food on the table, affording medical care and prescriptions, and rising inflation, I am extremely disheartened that the serious work expected of this body has been deprioritized in favor of do-nothing legislation such as this bill, which is nothing more than political theater aimed at appeasing conspiracy theorists. The United Nations and the World Health Association already hold no authority over our state. This bill is clearly a gross waste of state resources. I vote no on HB 2204. Nikki McDonald, Susan Ruiz, Melissa Oropeza, Lynn Melton, Angela Martinez, Tobias Schlingensieben, Sydney Carlin, somebody I can't read, Kirk Haskins, Abby Boatman, Wanda Brownlee Page, Louis Ruiz, Ford Carr, Bree Shu, Heather Meyer, and Linda Featherston.
Any further explanation of vote? Representative Mosley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I vote no. Kansas did not elect us to solve problems of our own imaginations. In the list of priorities, we should be focused on the things like lifting Kansans out of poverty. The majority have decided that stopping a nearly non-existing threat of the WHO is somehow how we want to kick off voting on the floor. In the future, I hope that we work to solve real problems that Kansas deal with every day and live up to the dignity of our elected office. Thank you very much, Brooklyn Mosley, House District 46.
Any further explanation of votes? Seeing no further explanation, does any member desire to change his or her vote? Representative Boatman votes no. Representative Neely votes aye. Representative Bloom votes aye. Any Representative Helgerson votes no. Representative Turner votes aye. Representative Wilson votes aye. Representative Wilson, aye. Representative Will Carpenter votes aye. Representative Bryce votes aye. Any further changes of votes? Seeing none, House Bill 2204 having voted in the favor, sorry about that. 85 having voted in favor and 35 against the passage of House Bill 2204, the same having received a constitutional majority, the bill is hereby declared passed. The clerk will record the vote. We're still dusting off the cobs off of an off session. Final action on bills and concurrent resolutions. The clerk will read.
HB 2332 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning the legislature, establishing a seal for the House of Representatives, providing for the custody and use thereof.
This constitutes final action on House Bill 2332. The clerk will open the roll and you may record your vote. Has every member had an opportunity to record their vote? The clerk will close the roll. Does any member desire to explain his or her vote? Does any member desire to change his or her vote? 120 voting in favor and 0 against the passage of House Bill 2332, the same having received a constitutional majority. The bill is hereby declared passed. The clerk will record the vote. Is there any objection to returning to that order of business, introduction of bills and concurrent resolutions? Seeing no objection, the clerk will read.
HB 2458 by Committee on Taxation, requested by Representative Corbett, an act concerning local government. HB 2459 by Committee on Transportation, requested by Ryan and Monica Omert, an act concerning traffic regulations. HB 2460 by Committee on Judiciary, requested by Representative Essex, an act concerning the Kansas Open Records Act, KORA. HB 2461 by Committee on Insurance, requested by Marley Carpenter on behalf of Kansas Association of Property and Casualty Insurance Companies, an act concerning insurance. HB 2462 by Committee on Water, requested by Representative Pickert, an act concerning water. HB 2463 by Representative Waymaster, an act concerning rural health.
We have some more coming in, so we'll just stand at ease until they get the rest of the bills to where we can get those read in. While we're waiting for that, we have the following committee assignments. Representative Cindy Neighbor replaces Representative John Alcala on the House Committee on Taxation on Thursday, January 15th. This appointment expires at the end of the day on the 15th. Representative Kyle Hoffman will replace Representative Jesse Bourgeon on the House Committee on Judiciary on Thursday, January 15th. This appointment will expire at the end of the day on the 15th. The clerk will read.
HB 2464 by Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development, requested by Jason Watkins on behalf of the Wichita Regional Chamber of Commerce, an act concerning income taxation. HB 2465 by Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development, requested by Representative Brunk, an act concerning discrimination. HB 2466 by Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development, requested by Rachel Willis on behalf of the Department of Commerce, an act concerning economic development. HB 2467 by Committee on Transportation, requested by Representative Wilburn, an act concerning traffic regulations.
House Bill 2442 is withdrawn from the Committee on Federal and State Affairs and referred to the Committee on Taxation. Speaker recognizes Representative Croft for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to House Rule 2306, I move House Bill 2011 be withdrawn from calendar under that order of business, general orders, and be referred to the Committee on Commerce.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Motion passes. Announcements. So we had a memo that came out. I actually received it yesterday that I think it's important for everybody to know about, and we're going to have some further discussion on it. We had a situation this morning where a meeting was set at 7 a.m. and we had folks from the public here and they couldn't get in the Capitol because this memo had said that the Capitol would no longer open until 7:30 for members of the public. So we had people standing outside waiting for 30 minutes. I want you all to know about that. So if you've set any meetings earlier than 7:30 right now, probably need to look at changing those because they're not going to let the public in until 7:30. I do have a meeting scheduled tomorrow morning to talk about this and to explore maybe changing that memo a little bit. So we'll see what happens in that meeting, but I just want you to know about it for future purposes. So if you've happened to set a meeting at 7, they're not going to let people in until 7:30. So we'll work accordingly until that changes. Speaker recognizes Representative McDonald. Sorry
Thank
about
you,
that.
Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to take this opportunity to recognize some members from the Kansas School for the Blind that are in the gallery today. We'll be discussing their budget today.
The speaker recognizes Representative Goddard. Are you going to already start levying fines, or is this something different?
They're coming. There's a list of them, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Southeast Kansas Legislative Caucus will be meeting today at noon in room 582 North. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, speaker recognizes the majority leader for a motion to adjourn.
Okay, chairs, you have a lunch at in 218 North immediately upon recess. Tomorrow is pro forma. That means committees still meet. We're not meeting on the floor. Mr. Speaker, I move the House adjourn until Friday, January 16th at 11 a.m. pro forma.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.